Then, now,
Acknowledge me.
The king of kings. You can't see me.
forever. Together.
And now, C4 Energy presents the Royal Rumble Press Conference.
Well, the main event picture of WrestleMania has become just a little bit more defined in the wake of the 37th annual Royal Rumble. Welcome, everyone. My name is Byron Saxon, welcoming all of you to our official Royal Rumble Press Conference. Now, tonight, we'll be joined by the winners of both the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches, as well as the Chief Content Officer of WWE, Paul Triple H Levesque. Now, a reminder for all our media members here tonight, if you have a question for our guests, raise your hand, state your name, and the media outlet you are affiliated with. Now, with that said, our first guest made history tonight, not only lasting over 1 hour and 3 minutes, but also winning the Royal Rumble match for the first time in her illustrious career. Please welcome the winner of the women's Royal Rumble matchup, Bayley.
Thank you. Thanks, Byron. Hola.
Bayley, welcome. We'll open it up to our media with the first question right here in the front row.
Hi, Bayley. Congratulations.
Thank
Rick
you.
Ucchino, CagesideSeats.com. We talked just 2 weeks ago, and you talked about how standing up on the turnbuckle, pointing at the sign, getting the pyro going off was the stuff that you dreamed of. You were excited to feel that. When it finally happened, it looked like you were really soaking in every moment that you could there. You know, did it feel like you always thought it would?
Yeah, but a little bit crazier. Like I was excited to point to the sign, but from what I remember, I thought only the sign had the fireworks, and I was just expecting the sign to have fireworks. But as it was happening, it's like kept going more and more and more all over the whole stadium. And in my head, I'm like, do they always do this, or is it just for me? Or are they like super proud of me? Like this is a lot more than I was expecting. So that was very surprising, and it was cool to just stand up there and take it all in. And it'll probably hit me a little bit later, but I was trying to be professional, you know?
Right side, third row.
Congrats on the win, Bayley. Graham Matthews with Bleach Report. Just talking about the win itself and having been on the main roster now for almost 7 years and almost 8 years actually coming up this August, where this ranks for you as far as career achievements and finally having the crowd behind you after being a despised figure for the past 5 years. Your thoughts and the reaction you got out there tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I have to tell a lot of the girls that were like, you know, their first 2 Rumbles or so, or like their second one today or their third one, that didn't last as long or anything. I'm like, trust me, I've been there. Like my first Rumble, I think I was number 26, and I was out in like 3 minutes or something. I've been number 1 and I haven't won. I've been number 17 or something and haven't won. It's honestly just such a ride, and so. For me, I have to, like, to them, I don't want to sound too cheesy, like, just hang in there. But from the first Rumble that we've had to, like, one of my first 1 or 2 years on the main roster to now where we are, it's all about just consistency and just seeing the bigger picture. Because if you get stuck in all the dips and swerves and everything that this business throws at you, I could have never done what I did tonight. Like, I could have given up so much, like, so long ago. So, such a difference, man. We have such a different crew. There's no legends coming in because there's so many women out there that we need to showcase. So it's beautiful.
Keith Elliott Greenberg with Inside the Ropes magazine. The Bayley we've been seeing in recent years is a lot different than the hugger of times past. Yet tonight, towards the conclusion of the match, we heard a large Bayley chant go up. How does the damage control Bayley induce that type of reaction?
I mean, I don't tell you guys what to do. You know, you guys just cheer when you want to cheer. So to me, honestly, this is the truth. I have been myself throughout this whole time. And I said it in an interview, I don't know if it was with you the other week, but my whole career and my whole character change and everything has been real. When I first started, I was excited to be here. This is the coolest thing ever. It's my dream. And as things weren't going my way throughout the years and no one was latching on, I had to do something to save my career. So everything I've been doing has been real and genuine and natural. And this is who I am now. So like, if you guys are liking it and you guys want to see me win, then hell yeah, I've been telling you guys that I'm supposed to be winning these matches. You know, let's celebrate together. So to me, it's all been part of what I've been knowing all along.
Hey, Bailey, Denise Salcedo, Instinct Culture.
Hello.
So in the Women's Royal Rumble, we saw a lot of surprises, including Naomi. We also saw Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill. I wanted to get your thoughts on seeing them in the Rumble.
Well, first, going out there and being in the ring with Naomi and Natalia and the first three of us, legends. My first time doing anything on the main roster, I was a UK tour, and it was me and Natalia versus Team Bad. So like, they're the girls that really helped me get comfortable and took me in. So being in there with them, they have been through everything, generations of this division, and are still here helping everyone out. That was incredible. Happy to have Naomi back. And Jordan Grace, very big surprise, to be honest, which is just cool seeing someone come from a different world. And we like throwing those like surprises out there. And she's super solid, very strong. I'd stay away from her. And having Jade finally come out just seems like there's so much potential there, and everyone's really excited to see what she did. And she proved her presence with so many different moments she had there. I was close to eliminating her though, so she should be scared of me, you know.
Michael Martinez from Lucha Libre Online. Bailey, last time we had a conversation in Money in the Bank in London, you mentioned that you really wanted to main event WrestleMania, and you're just one step away from it.
I wouldn't say one step away. It's going to take a long time to get there. Who doesn't want a main event WrestleMania? That is just I feel like that's such a generic dream for anybody watching WWE as a kid to have, but the fact that we've already had 2 women's matches main event WrestleMania is just makes it even more possible. And now that I'm at this point where WWE is at the biggest that it's ever been. It's a crazy time right now, and the fact that I won the Royal Rumble in the time that it is, why not? Why can't I main event it? Because we're in the craziest time of all, you know? And I'm on top. I'm right there. Maybe not on top. EO's on top. But I'm right there.
Hey, Bailey. Dominic D'Angelo of AdFreeShows.com. Congratulations on the win. And it's kind of neat that Cody won the men's battle royal, because I wanted to get your thoughts on Dusty Rhodes, his dad, and what his influence on you. And so it's kind of like a full circle moment. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I've said it for years, but Dusty hadn't. I don't know. It's like he just had his projects and everybody. He just saw the one thing in everybody that we couldn't see in ourselves. Like Byron's done this, so he helped me in promo classes all the time. Like the fact that I had my own TV show, Ding Dong Hello, just blows my mind. And I wish Dusty could see that, because they had to pull me in for extra like promo classes and make me do interviews and all this stuff because I was so shy. But Dusty just seen something in me. Whatever I was shy to share, he wanted me to embrace, because he knew that was what was going to connect me with people, and that's what saved me. I would have given up, like in my first month. I wanted to be done. So, yeah, thank you.
Next question. Oh, that's it. I guess that's done.
Cut me off, Kasama.
Bailey,
you guys.
congratulations
Thank you.
on your new road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, our next guest made history tonight by becoming the first superstar to win back-to-back Royal Rumbles for the first time in 26 years. The man who will now have an opportunity to finish his story at WrestleMania, the winner of the men's Royal Rumble match, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Okay, so I know Byron, they're gonna do questions, but before we do questions, I got a few bones to pick with you, all of you out here. The last month, I've seen a lot of memes, seen a lot of GIFs that even my buddy, who I'm not gonna say his name, it might rhyme with Shanral Sap, decided to send me one, as if I would think it's hilarious. Well, let me put this all kind of in perspective, and this is gonna sound like a big old pat on the back, but it's not for me, it's for the people who have followed me. I had an unprecedented exit from WWE. I was able to do some really incredible things. Hopefully they were helpful to our industry, hopefully. I had an unprecedented return to WWE, where I got to compete with probably the best bell-to-bell wrestler of my generation, Seth Rollins. He's a future Hall of Famer, and I beat him not once, not twice, but 3 times. I went on to win the Royal Rumble in 2023. Hey, yeah, I had number 30, but I went to WrestleMania 39, which broke every record previously set by WrestleMania. After that, not just survived Brock Lesnar, but beat him twice, the most decorated combat sports athlete. And I moved forward to this point in time where I have gone back-to-back on the Royal Rumble, the first guy to do it since Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I was able to eliminate probably the most popular wrestler of my entire era, and a guy that I wouldn't tell him to his face, or maybe I would, that I really admire and look up to, that being CM Punk. The reason I walk everybody through this is because it's not always easy to be a Cody Rhodes fan. There's some people here who probably traveled from abroad who know, Mustache Cody didn't have that many fans, a couple. Dashing Cody, Stardust didn't have any fans. It was a tough time. And the reason I wanted to say all this is because those fans who have been with me from the beginning and those fans who just jumped on are completely vindicated by what just happened tonight. They are completely vindicated and they are completely validated because they know something that I want to tell all of you. Here's the news, here's the headline. I am the guy, and I have been the guy. And I am a 3 count or a submission away from being the quarterback of the greatest, most prosperous era in the history of sports entertainment. So for all the memes and all the GIFs, let's just remember that, because tonight was a absolutely thrilling, exciting, beautiful moment, and to do it in Tampa, to do it in St. Pete, right here, Eddie Graham area, Dusty area, means the world. I thank you all for being here. Sorry if it sounded like a lecture. Let's ask some questions.
So you mentioned beautiful moments. Well, our first question comes from someone who knows you very well and vice versa. No. WWE Hall of Famer, Diamond Dallas Page.
I just was in the hall with him going, do you want to go to the presser?
I was so damn proud of him. I climbed through all the people and over the railing to hug him because I have been a Cody Rhodes fan since his very first state championship title, his second straight. And I believed in him when a lot of people didn't believe in him. But I know he believed in him. And there was a guy who believed in both of us called the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And to do this here in the St. Pete, Tampa area, Dusty Rhodes country, dude, what does that feel like? Have you absorbed it yet?
Earlier today, I saw Steve Kern and Gerald Briscoe, and I went and said hello, but I saw Dory Funk. I wanted to hide because it sounds silly. I can't think about him because the fight isn't really for him. He had his fight. If you could ask him, he was as happy as could be with what he accomplished. But the fight now is for my wife, my daughter, my mom. So I don't think about Dusty, even though, I can't not think about him. I think about them. And to see them in the front row and, I never tell them anything that's happening. So they're always just the best possible thing ever is to see my mom and her know I'm doing all right. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But yeah, it's very exciting to be here and do it. And when I go to sleep tonight and hopefully dream of the man himself, I can tell him. Drew a pretty big house in St. Pete and was on last, hit my finish. That's all that ever mattered to him. So it'll be a great moment. Thank you, D.
You're welcome, brother.
Next question.
I almost pointed.
Here in the front row.
Hi, Cody. Nick Hausman, House of Wrestling.
Oh, you always introduce yourself like I don't know you.
I'm not.
It's not for us, right? It's for the overall. I got it.
I'm not special, Cody.
Nick Hausman, everybody.
Thank you, Cody. There was a real dark cloud over this weekend following the allegations against Vince McMahon. You've talked about how Vince met with you personally to bring you into the company. I just wanted to get your reaction to the report, and as someone who served as an executive within the industry, what changes do you think should be made across the board to prevent situations like this from happening again?
It's a great question. I know as far as the news is concerned, we were finding it out and reading the same things that you guys were reading. And you said a dark cloud, certainly. As far as TKO, Nick Khan and the board clearly took it very seriously, acted immediately. And looking at the future, I don't know the answer to that. And I think somewhere is probably a basic tenet of just this crew, more than ever from a roster standpoint, is very family. I've never seen anything like this. Most of the time, wrestling locker rooms are fighting, talking trash about each other, making fun of each other, sandbagging each other in the ring, all that nonsense. This crew is very team-based, and perhaps that's the ingredient, is everyone looking out for everyone, being accountable. And I know for me as a performer and a competitor, I've been through dark periods in our industry before. And it might sound cheesy, but it's very reinforcing, if you're in my position, that it's a time when, hey, we got 50,000 people out here. I want to give them something else from this weekend that isn't a terrible situation and terrible news. And I think we were able to do that. And obviously, as more news comes out, we'll be seeing it just like you do. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to a nicer question, maybe. The line, finish the story. Can you officially say that you're going to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia?
I feel like everyone knew that,
Well,
right?
I don't know. You didn't say the line.
Well, no, so
Also,
I'm
that
very
chicken was
glad that
scary.
he decided to take the skybox seat because it could make it really clear where we're at. All the respect in the world to Seth Rollins. That title gains more prestige every single day. But WrestleMania 39 did happen. And if you're me, you can't look at that and you can't run from it. I don't know. WrestleMania 40, Monday Night Raw, SummerSlam, I don't know, Elimination Chamber. I want to be back in the ring with Roman Reigns, and I want to finish the story. I detest the statement now because apparently everybody's got a story. Punk wanted a story, Drew got a story, everyone's got a story, but a big part for me, if anyone who knows me in this room, I'm very big on keeping my word. So if I say something silly on TV, but it's a promise, I intend to keep the promise. So I don't know if 2 times is the charm with Roman. We'll see. But finish the story hopefully by the 2K25. Just because I don't think they're going to put me on the cover or even close if I don't get it done, So.
All right, that wraps up our questioning
Oh,
for you,
let's do
Cody.
one more. Let's do a
I
bonus
figured that was
question.
coming. Okay, one
Let's
more.
do a bonus question.
Bonus question.
Give somebody who has never asked a question.
Okay, the pressure's on now. Who
Yeah,
gets this
great
bonus
suit, by the way,
question?
B.
First time ever question asker will go to the second row on the right.
Hi, Cody. Mike Coppinger, ESPN.
Hey.
Congratulations on back-to-back victories. And I'm wondering, obviously, it was a couple of years ago. You and CM Punk were with a different organization. How surreal is it to be back here in WWE, where both of you guys always, knew it in your hearts that you were good enough to have this spot on the card and really achieve this?
It's funny that we meet back here. Really. When we were at AEW, I thought we would encounter one another there. And it didn't happen. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. But I think both him and I had different personal experiences. Don't believe anything that Wade Keller put out about why I left or anything like that. The truth is, nobody knows. That man does, but nobody knows. Personal thing, and probably a personal thing for Punk. And that happens. People come, people go. It's not a huge thing. But to see him tonight, and to see Miz, and to see Kofi, those were my guys. The first OVW show I walked into, Brent Albright versus CM Punk was the main event, and Punk was also like running the whole show. He made me set up the ring. And to see that, sometimes you want another person who you admire and respect to stop looking at you as the kid and look at you and see who you are now. And I think tonight he got to see who I am now, and that means a lot to me. He's amazing. Could have gone either way. I look forward to what he does in WWE. Thank you.
Solid bonus question?
Yeah, why not? One more bonus question. Yeah.
Okay, one more.
I feel I'm doing okay, right? No one's pulled me.
All the way in the back.
Hello, Cody. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you, baby.
Chris Nunez, BCP Plus. You are now one of 4 men to win back-to-back Royal Rumbles. Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, like you mentioned, and yourself.
Wow.
How are you feeling? What does this win mean for you? And what are the next steps to finish the story?
You kind of stumped me because it's such a good stat. I don't have a lot of good stats. Like I laughed tonight. I look at Randy when he came out, it said 20-time champion. Dog, I'm just trying to be a one-time champion. You know what I'm saying? 20 times, Randy? 20 times? To be listed with guys like that, Hulk Hogan, who helped put WWE on the map, Shawn Michaels, my personal favorite as a kid. And like I said, being a Cody fan wasn't easy when I was a kid. Being a Shawn fan wasn't that easy. Chaps, fingerless gloves. It's a different choice. It's a choice, It's 6th grade, But whatever. I was in Shawn Michaels. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is the most prosperous and profitable sports entertainer there ever was. So to be able to say I'm in that mix, it makes me very, very happy, and I'm very blessed, very lucky to be in this spot. I know the spot I'm in. I know I've been treated by this team and WWE and everybody in this room. If it all ends tomorrow, it was one of the most amazing experiences in my life. But it's not going to end tomorrow because we still got to finish the damn story. All right? Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Peace.
The winner of the men's Royal Rumble match, Cody Rhodes. Well, our final guest is the Chief Content Officer of WWE. Please welcome Paul Triple H Levesque.
How's everybody doing? So I thought we had an amazing night. I want to start out by well, thank you to all of you for coming out here, and I want to thank the St. Pete, Clearwater, and Tampa Bay Sports Commission for inviting us back here for this week. We spent a lot of time here during a really difficult period when there were no fans. We spent a lot of time in this building, which if you imagine it without all the people in it is a big giant sort of cave where you can hear every echo. And to be in here tonight after all of that, after everything we went through, and it seems like it was just yesterday, but to come back here, I'd kind of, this will sound negative, but I had kind of put this place out of my mind because it had been such a crazy period of time and nobody here and video boards everywhere, whatever it was. And just trying to get through that and to walk in here today, to walk through the backstage area as we were pulling up down the road, it just felt so familiar. And then it was so busy during the day that it just felt alive in here, which was completely different from how it has felt every other time that I've been here. And then to see it filled with 48,000 plus fans here, setting a record for the building to go from 0 to 48,000 sort of seemed like it was in the blink of an eye. And it was, I don't know, I stuck my head out of the near the entranceway and looked at that sea of people tonight as far as you could see and as high as it could go. And it was emotional for me. It was just a very unique feeling to be able to know what everybody that performed here in a time. You can imagine what it's like to perform in front of the roar of the crowd, but when there's nobody here and you're trying to do it nonetheless, just the same with that same energy, the pounding that you take, the effort that everybody goes through. I don't know. It was just a magical night for everybody, and it felt really good to be here. And for some reason to me, because I feel like we've been on this incredible roll for a while, but tonight, for some reason, because of that, the 48,000 people, it felt like the start of this new beginning and of something massive and just explosive to the next level. Like I just feel like we are on the brink of becoming something that we have never been before. This is the same feeling I had in the Attitude Era when it was exploding. It's that same feeling, and for whatever reason, while that's been happening, tonight felt like the launch of that. Can't explain why, but I just thought I'd share that because it was a unique feeling, and I think it speaks to where we're headed. So, like I said, a lot of people here, and this was a record for the Trop here. This building's been here for 34 years, and this was a record. And I'm trying to think, somewhere in here it says, I think it was like New Kids on the Block or something like that. So that's it. I mean, when you beat the New Kids on the Block, like that's a bold statement, right? Golf, go ahead, golf clap. Yeah. This was also tonight generated, and I feel like I say this a lot, but tonight generated the largest gate of any event outside of WrestleMania in WWE history. So again, thank you to everybody here in the Tampa area, and to everybody that was watching at home. It was a spectacular night. We'll be back here Monday night, obviously, and then we'll be back into a stadium in 4 weeks on the other side of the globe in Perth, Australia, to do it all again with the Elimination Chamber and sort of take that next level drive into the road to WrestleMania. So exciting time. From a talent standpoint, I just wanted to mention that, I thought talent had a spectacular night. When you look at the Women's Rumble, Bayley taking a place. Bayley is a very unique and very sort of giving performer that is always a constant. And I think it's easy to overlook how good she is because she's always the constant in getting something else launched. And I can't say enough about that, how much that role
or how big that role is. So sometimes it's overlooked because of that. And tonight, she was able to put herself in that spotlight and not be overlooked. Tonight, she earned that spot in the Royal Rumble. She earned her spot to go to WrestleMania and be in a main event role. So, you know, I'm very excited for her for that because, again, she has been sometimes lost in the shuffle of just how great of a performer and she is. She's one of the all-time best. The return of Naomi, I just want to tell her welcome home. It's been a long time coming. Happy to have you back. Liv Morgan coming back off injury. Great to have her back and have her energy back in the locker room. Nia Jax had a spectacular night. And I think, you know, as a performer that takes a lot of flack sometimes, this run is different and she's really beginning to prove herself and I think win a lot of people over, which I love to see. Jordan Grace coming here from TNA, their champion. I want to thank them for allowing her to be here and participate in the Royal Rumble. I thought she had a spectacular showing tonight. She's an amazing talent. And it's exciting to just be able to branch out. And, you know, I'm not going to use all the cliched terms about what door people go through or anything like that because it's stupid and silly. But partnerships and opportunities like this come along, you know, for some people once in a lifetime, but I'm glad she had that opportunity. It's well-deserved. She's an incredible talent. And the last one I want to mention for the women's side is the debut of Jade Cargill. There's, what's the phrase you kids use now? Aura, that's the new term of the week, aura. I'm glad you invented that. But she's got it. Whatever you want to call it, X Factor, aura, whatever that is, she's got it, and then some. She's just a different performer, and I'm glad that she has had the time to get her feet on the ground and was able to come in here tonight and make a huge impact. So the future's incredibly bright for her and for all of us. So I'm excited about that. On the men's side, I thought both Punk and Cody had an incredible showing, as did so many, but just an incredible showing. And for two guys that really both, you could say if they ended up in that spot, like how could you argue with it? So my hat's off to both of them. Braun Breaker had a spectacular night, sort of debuting in the Royal Rumble. Explosive is the only way to, I guess, explain Braun, but he had a great night, and he's going to do great things in the future. And then Andrade, you know, the return, just a phenomenal talent that I cannot wait to see what he can do now, in this time. It's the right time. Before, maybe not, but now it's the right time for him. It's the right time for him to be able to come here and showcase what he can do. I'm excited for that. And one last thing I want to say on the talent side before we move on is just Cody was out here. I heard him talking, you know, about the area. I heard him talking about why he's doing this, his family, a lot of different things. There is nobody more dedicated to this craft. The respect that he has for it is second to none. You know, even I'm waiting for him to come back at Gorilla while he spends 45 minutes out there meeting people and shaking hands and taking pictures. And I'm like, somebody got to go get him. We have a press conference happening and it's already started and they're waiting for us. I love that. I love his dedication to our WWE universe, to fans, to anybody. He is the right human being. He is the right person. His passion for this, his dedication for this is second to none. And, you know, it's bandied around as a term a lot, but he absolutely is the future of this for all the right reasons. And I don't want it to sound condescending to him. And I try when I look at him not to see his dad, but I'm incredibly proud of him. And I know his dad would be. So he had an awesome night. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Our first question will go to the first row. There we go.
Emily May with Sportskeeda Wrestling. It was announced this week that WWE will be moving to Netflix, part of the programming in 2025. What's your reaction to that deal, and how will this change sports entertainment?
Well, my reaction to that deal is, holy shit. It's amazing. How will it change sports entertainment? How will it change sports and entertainment is actually the better phrasing, I think, of the question. I think the whole world sees a shifting ecosystem when it comes to where people consume and view things. And in a moment when you see a lot of people dipping their toe in the water of streaming services and trying different things, you know, since the beginning, WWE has been sort of groundbreakers and first movers. You know, you saw it back in the beginning with closed circuit TV. You saw it, the WWE at the forefront and almost sort of making the pay-per-view industry. You saw it when we started the WWE Network, when streaming was sort of just a little bit of a thing and people weren't sure if it was even gonna work, and we jumped into streaming and it worked and people saw it and they followed up what we did and they followed it in their own way. When we jumped out of our own streaming service because of the bundling and to get, you know, to a larger carrier to go with Peacock, and now you see this move into streaming where at this moment in time, the NFL, soccer, everybody are dipping their toe into that. Everybody will be watching this, everybody. Hopefully everybody will be watching the shows, but they will be watching to see what takes place here. We are once again in front of that. And it's an incredible feeling. And when you talk about a deal that's, you know, 10 years, $5 billion, it's hard not to be excited about this. This has been an incredible, incredible week. You talk about the streaming services, so let's talk about The Rock joining the board for TKO. An amazing opportunity for us to have the biggest celebrity, the biggest star in the world, the biggest box office attraction in the world, to be a part of that board and help us with, he's an expert on branding, he's an expert on marketing, he's an expert on all those things. So to help with that, but what I love about it is he's also a guy that, while on a board at an extremely high level and communicate with them, I can have shorthand with him about what WWE needs. And for people that sometimes don't always understand exactly what the product is, that is such a blessing to be able to call him and just say, in our language, here's what I'm feeling, here's the way I want to go, and can you help me with that? And that's really what they're there for, is to help us with that in business. So it's amazing to have him doing that. So it's a huge opportunity for us.
Hey, Paul, right here. John Alba, Fightful. Speaking of the business side of things, it was about a year ago the WWE Board of Directors unanimously opposed Vince's return to the company as executive chair due to the ongoing investigations at the time before ultimately voting him back into power. You, Stephanie, Nick Khan, you were part of that. What degree of knowledge of the current accusations against him did you guys have at the time, and how does the situation affect WWE's relationship with partners going forward?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do exactly what you would expect me to do here. Look, we just had an amazing week. I just said it, 10-year, $5 billion Netflix deal. Rock joining our board. We just sold out the Royal Rumble, put 48,000 people in the Tropicana Field. I choose to focus on the positive. And yes, there's a negative, but I want to focus on that and just keep it to that.
All the way in the back.
Hi there, Honor. Cameron Hawkins from The Ringer. Just a question that was asked earlier to Cody. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Just what's being put in place just to make sure that employees feel safe, they don't feel like they're taken advantage of. Just what is being done to make sure that people in positions of power can't take advantage of employees under them?
I'll give you the most generalized answer that I can. Everything possible. Yeah, that is a very important thing to us, a very important topic to us. It's as simple as everything possible.
Our final question will head to the right-hand corner.
Hi, Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics. I was wondering.
Sorry, I know you have a microphone, but they are moving a bunch of stuff, and it's really hard for me to just a little bit louder, please.
Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics.
Yes.
Did you read the lawsuit that came out this week? And if you did, what was your reaction to it?
I did not. I think Cody mentioned it, that we all found out real time when you were. And that's the truth. I'll go back to what I said before. This is an amazing week for us. And I just, at this point, I don't even want to get bogged down in the negatives of it. I just want to focus on the positives and where we're going. And we're at the most exciting time of the year for us. We're at the most exciting point, to me, business-wise, I think, that we've ever had. I think Cody might have said the I don't exactly remember how he said it, but the best positioning of this company since the Attitude Era. I've been through that era. I understand what it's like. I feel like we are in the middle of something that, while we might not be able to put our finger on it right now, 5, 10 years from now, we're going to be saying, like, wow, what a time that was. I want to focus on that.
I was told we have time for one more question, and we will end here in the front row.
Hi, it's with Lucha Libre Online. I wanted to ask you about when I was looking at the Royal Rumble matches today, the women and the men's, the roster is stacked right now. There's so much main event talent. Does that make your job fun, or is it challenging to keep all of these people at main event level, keeping storylines that are going to keep the momentum going?
So it's challenging, and that's what makes it fun. It's a little bit of both. You know, I agree with you. I can't recall a time that I could look at rosters this thick and this stacked, which is nice to have. It's also, you want to make sure that everybody has a place, which can't always happen. It's impossible to make sure that everybody's featured the way they need to be featured at all times. You're going to have ups and downs. It also means that, even as you see tonight, a little bit different tonight because you have the Rumble, so many people in there. But there were 4 things on the card tonight, and it was still a long show. Trying to keep these shows manageable time-wise, you're only going to be able to feature so many things per show. So it does get challenging, but that's the fun part of it. When you have a stacked roster of people that are just chomping at the bit to prove themselves, that to get to another level, and it becomes increasingly day by day more competitive for the top spots, and even for the spots below those and the spots in the middle. Like, that competition is intense, and as people realize those opportunities are fewer and further, they're going to work harder and harder, which is the benefit of everybody. So it's a wonderful time. Can I do one more?
That wraps us up.
Do
one more?
One
All right, let's do one more. Let's see what we got here. Let's go all the way in the back.
Evan Mack, Odyssey Sports. How you doing, Trip?
I'm good, man. You?
I'm well, sir. Listen, you lived in the Attitude Era. I was lucky enough to watch the Attitude Era, and what you have going on right now with the streaming and the deals and the roster as stacked as it is, in your opinion, is this the best era in wrestling?
I think you got to let it play out, right? So it's easy to say in the moment, oh my God, nothing like this ever before. It's the greatest thing of all time. And I also think that there's the things that you watched when you were young, like sometimes people are going to be, they talk about the Attitude Era with such reverence or whatever. And like, I lived through that era. Some of that stuff stunk. Like, you know what I mean? It was bad. but there was a lot of it that was really good. And you look back on it differently. You know, I'm a big believer in the moment is the moment, but it's what lasts the test of time. You know, I used to say that about NXT. You know, when it first started and everybody was going crazy, I'd say, well, talk to me about it in 5 or 6 years and we'll see what it feels like, because right now's the moment. You have to give things time to see how they percolate. Something that's the greatest thing in the world can be nothing a few years later, and vice versa. So time will tell. It certainly feels good. I can tell you that. It certainly feels good watching all these young athletes come out here week after week and kill it. It certainly feels good when I talk to Shawn Michaels and I see the college athletes coming into that performance center doing things I've never seen before and picking this up faster than I've ever seen anybody picking it up. Like on so many levels, like this moment is huge. The moments that are waiting behind it are huge. Like there's so much good stuff all stacked there, but it seems thick and deep and it seems like it's gonna last for a long time. So if you're asking me my gut on it, yes, it's going to be the biggest, brightest era there's ever been in this business. But that's, as you said, the challenge and the fun of making it last for the duration and not be just a flash in the pan. So, oh, what the hell, do one more.
Well, all right, one more.
I had two answers with no answer, right? So I feel like I owe you a couple answers.
Let's see what we got. Tough choice. A lot of hands. Let's go to the second row.
Hi, Joel Torres from Contralona. When you compare the WWE in the past and WWE now, and with all the changes that we are seeing right now with The Rock at TKO, Netflix, and everything that we saw today at the Rumble, would you say this is a new WWE or a new beginning for the WWE?
I don't like to say it's a new WWE because I feel like in some way that negates the past. It's a rich history here, and you know, it's why people compare Roman Reigns and the length of this title run to Bruno or Hogan, or right, like the people love the history of what we do. And I love that history. I'm a huge history buff on that stuff and love that. And you know, Cody mentioned it. We had a lot of legends here tonight. And it's something that we want to engage with them more and have them be a part of what we do because their contributions were massive to what we do, and just have them feel connected to us. So I don't want to say it's a brand new WWE, but it's a new chapter for sure. And I think maybe that's what I was feeling tonight when I looked out in that crowd, and you know, coming off of just everything to get to where we were, the pandemic, all of it, and then sort of restart, and just in this moment of, it is sitting under TKO and new ownership, and just it's new and it's a fresh start. And when you have that, you have the benefit of seeing the past as it was behind you. All the wonderful things that you want to keep and all the not so wonderful things that you want to discard and move away from. It's sort of clarity that you can have that starting point, but yet have all that history behind you. That one, it just makes you see very clearly where you want to go and what you want it to be. And the reason I'm here and sitting at this table is because I love this and want to make it better than it's ever been. From a content standpoint, from a performance standpoint, from a business standpoint, and all the other things that go with it. from our employees to everything else. I want this to be the best WWE that there has ever been, unlike anything that's ever been seen before. And we're going to do that. I'm very confident of that. So we have that behind us, and we're looking forward to a bright future. So thank you all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And I'm probably sure I won't see most of you in Perth. I'm just going to go out on a limb. But I will see you soon, and hopefully we'll see you all at WrestleMania. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you, Cody Rhodes. Thank you to all our guests, and thank you to all of you for joining us for the Royal Rumble press conference. We will see you this Monday night for Raw in Tampa, Florida.